Does this mean we shouldn't pursue renewable energy projects in off-grid regions in Newfoundland and Labrador? No, absolutely not. But to have successful renewable energy projects, we need to implement legitimate processes of Indigenous engagement, Indigenous ownership, Indigenous control of sustainable energy technologies. Enter my research. Working with Inuit scholars, Dr. Debbie Martin from Fox Harbour and Amy Hudson from Black Tickle, we developed this. And what we call it is a four-right community energy planning framework. And essentially what we argue is that energy planning research with and for Nunatuhavu Inuit communities must be grounded in the worldviews of respect, reciprocity, relationships, and rights. The same principle that I talked about in my opening speech this morning. But this isn't enough. We also suggest that a sustainable energy project must never go ahead without the free, prior, and informed consent of the communities that we're working for. The next two stages of our framework kind of go hand in hand, generation side and household energy use. Right now across Canada, hybrid renewable energy technologies, your wind, your solar, they're really sexy. But without storage and system controls, these technologies are really only capable of displacing 10 to 20% of the diesel in an isolated community. It's at the household level, via changes in the way we use energy, efficiency upgrades, building upgrades. It's here we can displace 10, 20, 30, 40% of the diesel. So we argue that you have to focus on both. And finally, we have this idea of transition. We suggest it's only when energy planning practitioners can maintain these 4 Rs, build and maintain community cohesion and consent, assess the social and economic feasibility of supply-side and end-use energy technologies. It's only at this point where we should be able to make recommendations about which approaches are likely to concede. Does anyone think Muskrat Falls would have passed through this framework?